Why thought leadership videos beat viral videos every single time if you are in B2B. Now, it is really tempting to go after lots of likes and lots of followers. That makes us feel good. It makes us feel like our content is actually doing something. But virality does not equal leads and sales. And for every single potential client that comes to us, we ask them this question: do you want fame or do you want fortune? Because they are very different strategies when it comes to content. If you want fame, and there's nothing wrong with that, but if you want fame, then you need to follow a very particular content strategy that will lead to fame. It will lead to lots more followers. It will lead to virality. And that means that you can sell sponsorships, affiliates, ads, whatever it might be. But if you want fortune, which is often what a lot of us in B2B want, if you're actually selling a particular product or service, then you need to follow an entirely different strategy. And this is a strategy that is aimed very much at your target niche and getting them to know, like, and trust you. So the content is actually very different. And the problem is a lot of B2B businesses go after a fame strategy. They think their content needs to be seen by hundreds of thousands or even millions of people, and it really doesn't. In fact, we actually know someone who is a really good, really nice guy. He is actually a very famous business influencer, and recently he tried launching a book to his audience, and they said, whoa, £20 for a book, that's way too much. We're like, why are you trying to sell to us? And it was because he'd built a massive audience of people that just wanted to be entertained, not who wanted to actually buy from him. So remember this: when you're coming to create your content, you want to follow a fortune strategy. Now, the next question obviously is, what does a fortune content strategy look like? And that's what I'm going to tell you about now. Now, a fortune content strategy essentially is creating content that is aimed at your very particular niche audience who are likely to buy from you. And it's helping them understand more about your products and services and about your industry, and really helping them, giving them lots and lots of value and building that trust with them. And I liken it to essentially what you want to aim to be. You want to walk into an industry conference, whatever you specialize in, you want to walk into a conference that is aimed at your industry, and you want people to be like, oh my gosh, it's you, I love your content, I watch you, or I read your content, or I follow you on LinkedIn. You want people to know who you are, but then when you go outside, no one on the street knows who you are. And that's exactly what you should aim for with your content. So the way that you do this is that you need to create thought leadership content. You need to be known in your industry as a pioneer that can really bring some really original ideas out there that haven't been discussed before. So what you want to do is you want to create content that is both valuable but also entertaining. And that's a very difficult mix of things to do, because often what you want to do is you want to talk about the things that you love, the things that you find interesting, how to do this thing. I love talking about SEO, like how to write. I proper geek out over SEO. I really want to talk about how to get more search engine rankings, or how the algorithm works, or how Google works. I want to talk about those things, but my audience isn't really that interested in the ins and outs of Google search. They're not overly interested in it. They're interested in the results, they're interested in the more leads and sales off the back of it, but they don't really care, and they don't really need to know how to do it. So what you need to do is you need to create content that is valuable but also entertaining. So you want to make sure that your audience that actually finds your content interesting, that they actually stop and don't just think, oh, it's another boring piece of content where you're telling us how to do something, I'm going to scroll on by till I get to something fun. No, you want them to stop and actually listen to you. So part of that is marrying up two things: entertaining and value-led. So the way that you do this is that you can take all your knowledge, all your experiences, your methodologies, how you do things, things that you tell your clients, on a day-to-day basis that maybe you steer them in the right direction. You say, no, let's not do that. We need to do it this way. Everything that you have in your brain and that your team has in their brains, really valuable stuff, you need to package it in a way that makes it very entertaining or interesting for your audience. So you can do this by using stories. You can do this by using anecdotes. You can do this by really breaking it down with really fantastically designed carousels. You can do this by using video, short form video, and using different brands as examples, using really good examples so people can understand it very clearly. What you need to do is figure out exactly how to package up all your knowledge in a way that people really enjoy. So if you imagine that your knowledge is basically a present, would you rather it be in a boring cardboard box, or would you rather it be wrapped beautifully in a nice little bow and shiny red wrapping paper? Which one is more appealing? You want that last one, don't you? And that's how you should think about all the knowledge and value that you have. Yes, it's great, but to your audience, it's a cardboard box until you position it right, until you frame it the right way. And then what you want to do is create this content consistently. And what I mean by that is you want to follow the very same format every single week. So one of our clients will have a long form video go out on a Sunday. Following that long form video will be an email out to his list to say, please go and view my video, and it'll tell them a little bit about the video and get them to go and have a look. And then the rest of the time there's short form videos going out every single day on different platforms at very similar times. And then there's, say, LinkedIn posts going out every single day. But there's a very much a structure to how the content is published, and it's on the same formats, doing the same thing every single week with the same ways of promoting it every single week. And that consistency, along with the original exciting content, is what drives you to becoming a leader in your industry, and it's what drives you to becoming very well known in your industry and to becoming the person that people genuinely want to work with. They're lining up to work with you because you're consistently creating that content, you're consistently promoting that content, and it's really, really good content. You know, you will get fewer views and fewer likes than perhaps you like. You know, for example, me, I only have 3,500 followers on LinkedIn. I only have a very small amount of followers on YouTube, but I still get leads and sales. I actually got a sale from YouTube just last week because someone had watched my videos and they noticed that I'd been doing it consistently. I'd been emailing it out to my email list, and he said, oh, hey, you know, I'd really like to have a conversation with you because I really love your videos and I'd like you to do something similar for me. And I have a very, very small amount of views. Sometimes, especially if you're in your B2B, it only takes one person to actually come and get in touch with you, and you've made a really, really good, decent sale worth thousands and thousands, and just from having a very few amount of viewers and likes on your actual content itself. But it's far better to have that than loads of people liking and viewing your content that aren't the right fit and are never going to buy from you in the first place. Remember, when it comes to content, you want to be known for your thinking, not for your skills on TikTok, not for how you can entertain people, not for something controversial that you said. You want to be known for your thinking. You want people to say, oh, they are just so sharp on that topic. They are really, really, really good. They have such deep knowledge of that. And you want to get respect from people. You don't just want to entertain people. And that's how you should approach your content. I know the temptation of going after followers and likes and getting that rush when you get that dopamine and you see all those notifications come in. I do understand it, but it doesn't lead to leads and sales. So remember to stay on that track, deliver really good, consistent content, and it will pay off and you will become the recognized leader in your industry. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit subscribe and you'll be notified the next time we release a video.